Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey, do you remember that painting from Masterworks.io that my 9-year-old picked out the other day? This is the one that's Pablo Picasso. He picked this one. He said he liked it. It had a lot of colors, and he said it looked like a mom, and he said he liked that. And so I told him that I would buy that one, and so I did buy that one. And I wanted to also make you aware that they are also about to add another Pablo Picasso. I'm going to have to run this one by my son as well. I would imagine he's going to like the colors on this one too, but I'll go over that. I'll do a video on it when the time comes. But if you want to check out Masterworks.io, I'll put the link to the top of the description. I've really enjoyed it. It's opened me up to a whole new way of investing, and I think I'm in about 5 or 6 different paintings for as little as $500 each. So I'm excited about it. It's a whole new asset for me to invest in. Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and it is early in the morning, but my son just came in and wanted to get on his iPad, and I told him he woke up too early, but he wasn't hearing it. Sometimes that happens. Oh well. Okay, wanted to start with this. Goldman admits Saudi China oil trade signals erosion of dollar reserve status. I believe it's all by design, but anyway, we've talked about the petrodollar on this channel. Now, yesterday afternoon, Jeremy Kauffman from Library was on Liz Clayman's show on Fox Business. Watch this.
Well, the Securities and Exchange Commission's claim that crypto firm Ripple's token XRP is an unregistered security has riveted the industry. But it's not the only firm that's battling regulators. Media company Library, whose app runs on the blockchain, is also locked in a battle with the SEC. The firm operates a decentralized video sharing platform. It's called Odyssey. Joining me now is Jeremy Kauffman. He's the CEO of Library. And Jeremy, you believe your case with the SEC could potentially set an even bigger precedent for the crypto industry, more so than Ripple's. Tell us why.
Absolutely. Well, first, our case is almost certainly going to be decided before Ripple's case. And the facts of our case are no different than tens of thousands of other blockchain companies and blockchain tokens. And in our case, we didn't even do an ICO. So there's really no facts in this case that are different from any number of blockchain tokens. If Library is a security, then Ethereum is a security. So I think anyone who cares about the blockchain industry in the United States needs to be paying attention to this case, because if we lose, I think the entire industry is severely damaged in the U.S.
And the SEC seems to be really focusing on that word security in particular, because you sold the coin. It was about 6.2 million, and you used that for operating expenses. Is that their beef with you, or is it because they're saying that you need to classify what you're selling, the Library coin, differently? Please explain that.
Well, let's be clear. If you have to register as a token as a security, you don't have a blockchain token. Okay, that means there's no ability for people to freely exchange it. It means I couldn't send you some without going through some special broker, right? It means I can't send you 5 cents without going to a special broker. It kills the entire thing. Mm-hmm. And what we've done is no different than Ripple. In fact, I love Ripple, but I think we've done things, even less than what they did in terms of what they're accusing. And let's not act like there are rules here. The SEC is completely making this up as they go. They're taking a law from the 1940s that says nothing about blockchain, that doesn't apply in these circumstances whatsoever. There's a case in which there's no victim, there's no fraud. No one went to the SEC and said, hey, these guys did something wrong to me. And what they're doing is they're collecting all the facts. They're using all of their subpoena power. We spent millions of dollars giving them information over 4 years. And then, just like, someone throws the dart and then draws the bullseye around it, that's what they're doing. They're saying, oh, well, this set of facts makes it a security. They can do this to absolutely anyone, and there's no facts that they've discovered that would be different from tens of thousands of other companies and tokens.
Well, and I know that, and you've said that you have offered to pay back the SEC to get them off your back. You've offered to dissolve the company. Some extreme offers made to the SEC. They keep saying no. But you did give a deposition in the case yesterday. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I can tell you that the SEC is terrified of providing any standard that a company can meet in terms of the creation of a token. That's what they don't want to do. I mean, this is an industry. The blockchain industry has been around for over 12 years. Everyone is scrutinizing one speech given 3 years ago that the SEC insists isn't even official. And this is insane. It's out of a Kafka novel that we as entrepreneurs have to guess what the rules are. And if you go in and you ask the government, I mean, I asked them again in the deposition, I say, hey, guys, can you tell me anything? Can you give me any positive statements as to how a blockchain company can follow the U.S. law and have the same standard as Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Yeah.
They say, no, we can't tell you.
Understood.
And it's just an insane world. I mean, the deposition was boring. My lawyer said it's like watching paint dry, okay, because there's nothing exciting
Most
in it.
of them are,
boring.
Jeremy. Most of them are. We're about out of time.
Okay, I love this guy. This guy's on fire, but here's the dirty little secret, folks. The dirty little secret. I've been saying it for a year now. The Bitcoin and Ethereum, there was a reason that they wanted to get them out from under security laws. Once they did, they could go after everything else if it wasn't built on Ethereum. This was to create a monopoly with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's why they won't tell anybody like this gentleman anything about how you can, because you can't. You can't get out from under the securities laws because that's the way they designed it. This was designed to create a monopoly. And I don't think that everybody that was in that room before leading up to the Bill Hinman speech, I don't think everybody realized what they were doing. I don't think the Nancy Wotoses of the world realized what they were really up to. I think there was a handful of them that knew exactly what they were up to, but it was to give Bitcoin and Ethereum a monopoly. That's why you have this concerted effort all the way from New York to San Francisco to Bitcoin, Ethereum. This is all intentional. And that's what now, like I said, I love this guy. I love anybody who's fighting for what's right and wrong. That's my guy. And this guy is a man on fire. Remember I love the movie I think it's called Man on Fire, Denzel Washington. Well, we need more of those kind of men. We need men on fire because there's a lot of things. We need women on fire. There are a lot of things in this country and in our world right now that people ought to be downright pissed off about for the future of their children because things are being run in a corrupt manner, and someone has to stand up. And it's not going to be any one person. It's got to be thousands of us that stand up to put a stop to all of this corruption. It's time that someone did something about it. Now, but like I said, this guy, you can tell he's one of the heroes standing up. And this guy's saying, wow, no holding back, Jeremy. Library and Ripple have held SEC up for a year with strong resistance. He says 4 years, actually. We've been dealing with an investigation for 4 years. They opened the case only shortly before statute of limitations would apply on our first token sales. Then he says this. I mean, this guy's awesome. The SEC are cowards, intellectual cowards, spiritual cowards, emotional cowards. One of the most important industries in the U.S. is being crushed by hall monitor eunuchs. I think I said that word right. Now, words mean things. You know that if you listen to this channel. And he specifically used the word eunuch. Let's look at the word eunuch. Is a man who has been castrated. Eunuchs would usually be servants or slaves who had been castrated to make them reliable servants of a royal court where physical access to the ruler could wield great influence. Seemingly lowly domestic functions such as making the ruler's bed, bathing him, cutting his hair, carrying him in his litter, or even relaying messages could in theory give a eunuch the ruler's ear and impart de facto power on the formerly humble but trusted servant. Wow. I like when people use specific words, I like to look them up because you there's all kinds of things you can find out. but apparently this Jeremy Kaufman is no dummy. Okay, now one thing that you have to understand with what all's going on is there are certain companies and certain groups that are very close to power in this situation. One of them is Grayscale. Now, remember, Grayscale has all of these trusts, and they're putting together all of these trusts to put out to, and in order to do that, they've got to work with the SEC. So when you, in the midst of all of this, knowing that this was all intentional, in the midst of all of this, and I believe that at some point the plan here is to neuter 99% of crypto, but we knew that was going to happen. I think that this all might be their method. 99%, even Brad Garlinghouse said it a long time ago, 99% will go to zero. No utility, it will go to zero. Pay attention to what, remember, these Grayscales and all of these, the Coinbases and all these companies, if they weren't on notice before, they're on notice now. You don't do anything with any digital asset unless you are sure that the SEC is not going to come after you when you list these things or do anything with them. So when this was like from a couple of days ago, so when Grayscale announces right in the midst of all this SEC crackdown and everything that they've just created the Grayscale smart contract platform X Ethereum fund. I even like that, X Ethereum fund. That as in post Ethereum fund. This is their different smart contract holdings. They've added Cardano, Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, Polygon, Algorand, Stellar. Okay? When you see that, pay attention, folks. To me, this is just Grayscale telling you which ones you can hold, to me. All right. Gary Getzler had tweeted this out yesterday. Curious how your money can grow over time. And John Deaton says, curious how your crypto can be wiped out. Just wait for the next overreaching enforcement action filed by the SEC. Great. Now, speaking of Slim Shady, venture capitalist Katie Haun, who has left Andreessen Horowitz in December, has raised $1.5 billion across two funds for her new firm, Haun Ventures. And John Deaton made the perfect comment and said, Katie has come a long way since signing the Ripple FinCEN settlement on behalf of the DOJ in 2015. We all know about Katie Haun's crypto past on this channel. In fact, she's blocked me. I can't see anything she says because she apparently did not like the timeline that is not in dispute. You know, remember those facts that are not in dispute about the Ethereum free pass and all that? She must not like it. Now, Stefan Huber, yesterday, Digital Perspectives had brought up the CFTC and what is their involvement in all this. They seem to not be being held accountable at all. And Stefan Huber brought to my attention that he had covered this way back when. Check this out. This is October 26, 2021. Consensus urged the Commission to consider further distinguishing mainstream virtual currencies used as a medium of exchange generally from other types of virtual currencies. And then he had this part down here. Consensus is all up in some CFTC is what I'm gathering here, folks. Now, we know that consensus, remember the Brooklyn project, that is what was that was Consensus's project, which eventually was part of what became the Ethereum free pass back in 2018. Well, many of you may or may not remember, this is the video I found from Charles Gasparino from May 2018. Listen to what they said. I want to refresh everybody's memory. It wasn't just the SEC involved in that.
NASDAQ, and it's created by two, I would say, industry leaders, a guy named Joe Lubin, Andrew Keys. They are part of something known as Ethereum and Consensus. These are big cryptocurrency blockchain companies. They are working on this through this thing known as the Brooklyn Project. They have a lot of sources and friends on Wall Street. This, to me, will be the way that cryptocurrency and blockchain, the technology, gets beyond the sewage rationale. They are going to lead the effort to essentially systematize and rationalize and create a consumer protection organization with blockchain and cryptocurrency and and this is the key thing, because they are working, from what I understand, with the SEC, the CFTC on this, a self-regulatory organization, which will...
All right. So, that to me, and this is what I wrote here, they were involved. They're now claiming, now think about this for a minute. So the SEC won't tell you if Ethereum's a security or a commodity or whatever, but this guy was in front of Congress not more than a few months ago, Ralston Benham, and he said very specifically that Ethereum was a commodity. Well, if that's the case, then Joseph Lubin and his help disguising whale purchases, that comes under the CFTC, right? So why aren't they doing anything about the conflicts of interest there, or the Ethereum free pass and the conflicts of interest there? And I said, is it time for Freedom of Information Act requests in their direction? And I was asking all the people that have been in this, like Empower, Jason Foster. All right, now Ripple put this out. They've got career opportunities. Now, I wouldn't show this normally, but I wanted to show this to you because there are more jobs posted on the Ripple website than I have ever seen since I started this channel. This is, and a lot of them are about CBDCs. I mean, it is all over the place. If you go down, but I mean, this thing just keeps on going. But if you go down here, there's one for carbon markets, central bank digital currencies, product marketing, liquidity hub. And then you go down here, look at how many CBDC out of Ripple X, how many CBDC or central bank senior project manager. I mean, this is wild. Doesn't look like a dying company to me. How about you? Riz XRP sent me this, and this does go firmly in the All the World's a Stage file. Now, as you know, on this channel, we have given the Blockchain Association and the Chamber of Digital Commerce plenty of heartache over the fact that they've never helped Ripple in this SEC versus Ripple case, and they've never supported John Deaton in his representation of 66,000 XRP holders. So and we call the All the World's a Stage file the Red File on this channel. That's named after Dallas, the TV show. It's one of the first episodes where J.R. Ewing has his own Dallas Red File. Now, says this guy, Mikkel XRP, says, okay, something very interesting is going on. This was before the Ripple case. It's all a show. XRP is not a security. That's Perry Ann Boring, who runs the Chamber of Digital Commerce. She's replying to a tweet by Chris Giancarlo. Now, something I did know, there's a few things I know. Chris Giancarlo used to run the CFTC, is one of them. I also know that, and she was basically replying to, I think this was back when Chris Giancarlo did the write-up. Remember, he's one of the lawyers with Wilkie, Farr, and Gallagher. They represent Ripple, and he did a write-up on why XRP was not a security. He is also on the board of the Chamber of Digital Commerce. And I've always believed that he was one of the good guys in this space. Now, so how do you reconcile all this? Well, I think it comes down to one of two things. Either this is all a show, okay? I mean, either this SEC thing it's one or the other. I've said it from the very beginning of this channel. You're either looking at, or it can be a combination. I believe it's a combination. I believe that what all of this is, I believe there's a lot of bad guys in this. I believe that there's a bigger plan, and I believe there's a lot of corruption that's kind of stirred in, kind of like a potpourri of corruption and a larger plan and all of that. But still, even if there is a larger plan, and even if all the world is a stage, the fact that all the XRP holders have been hung out to dry, and if these people all know something that we don't know, I have a problem with that too. I think that's bull. That these people, if they do know something that we all don't know, and they're all carrying some narrative, And I'm sure that they, oh, well, this was for national security. We're supposed to do certain things that you all don't know about. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm sure you got all kinds of government excuses to have knowledge that the public doesn't have, right? Okay. John Deaton, prediction. When someone finally asks Bill Hinman about the $15 million from the EEA, which is the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, member Simpson Thacher, I guarantee he denies knowing that his firm was a member of the EEA. Save this tweet. He says, why am I so sure to guarantee my prediction? One, it doesn't pass the laugh test, smell test, taste test, or any other basic ethics test. If he admits he knew Simpson Thacher was a member of the EEA, people will ask, why didn't you disclose it? Or you agree it looks bad, right? But here's proof. In an email, Hinman tells his buddy at Simpson Thacher that the ethics office is resisting him going to an ad hoc dinner if lawyers from Simpson Thacher will be there. Dinner. No way Hinman cleared that speech with the ethics office knowing about the EEA. I think John Deaton has just gotten over the target. And then XRP, the Standard Productions, made me laugh out loud. I believe it was yesterday afternoon. For years it ate me. I knew Bill Hinman reminded me of a classic movie villain, but I couldn't think of which one. Finally, it came to me. There's Bill Hinman, and this is the warden in the Shawshank Redemption, one of my favorite movies, and Matt Hamilton nails it. XRP is the study of pressure and time. That's all it takes, pressure and time. That and a big damn poster. That's a quote from Shawshank Redemption. We need to let you know today Link2 has a deal where they're airdropping $1,000 in XRP to their members who use the Uphold wallet to invest in Ripple on the platform. Listen up. If I can get it to play, 1 second. Right in. Well,
Newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you miss
projects, rushing to be first, rushing to have the biggest market cap, rushing to achieve the network effect. So many positive narratives about Bitcoin and Ethereum, while mainstream media is totally disregarding the elephant in the room, Ripple Labs. What we're not hearing in mainstream media is Ripple's recent win on the fair notice offense against the SEC, or Ripple's huge growth during 2021, with a $10 billion run rate on RippleNet. Ripple's on-demand liquidity is active in 22 destination markets, inching even closer to global coverage. Hear from the GM of Ripple, Ashish Birla himself.
So I couldn't be happier with the year that we had in 2021 with RippleNet. We ended the year at a $10 billion run rate in terms of volume moving through RippleNet as a whole. And we're in 22 destination markets with on-demand liquidity. And that was a core piece of feedback that we heard from customers. They want that product, but they want it in more destinations. We're close to having global coverage of ODL, which is super exciting.
Right now, the SEC must surrender the draft of the infamous Ethereum speech from former Director of Corporate Finance, Bill Hinman. This is important because as a representative of the SEC, Hinman gave a speech back in 2018 articulating Ethereum was not a security, which conflicts with the Ethereum ICO, something Ripple and the team did not conduct whatsoever. So, going back to Mr. Denzel Washington's wise words, being first is not always best. We've got to do our own research to find our own truth. The SEC versus Ripple case will be a defining moment for the entire space and the catalyst which Ripple's ODL requires for global coverage. Zero doubt. Just a heads up, Link2 will be airdropping $1,000 in the form of XRP for all Ripple investments on the Link2 platform. So head on over to www.link2.com to start using your crypto to invest in the world's top unicorns today, especially Ripple, because it's safe to say your window's closing. Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
he got that right. The window's closing. I believe that there will be a lot of people at some point kicking themselves that had the chance to own some Ripple private equity that just passed it by. So I'll put the link to that in the top of the description of this video. Thanks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that XRP is the study of pressure and time. Thanks for listening.